crazy! Oh!
Oh, look at this. Oh, it is cold in here. Oh, it's so cold in here.
The halibut's eating my fish!
Where's the halibut?
In open water, an angler's biggest enemy isn't always the predator. It's the environment itself. From a solo kayaker being dragged offshore by a massive Mako, to a fisherman racing a cyclone just to secure one final catch, the stakes are always higher than they appear. It's never just about the gear, it's about surviving the encounter. Is it skill that brings these fishermen home, or are we all just guests in an unpredictable system? On January 19th, 2020, a quiet fishing trip takes place inside Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge. The footage comes from Lil Red Heidi Hood, a YouTube channel centered on fishing and solo outdoor exploration. Running on very little sleep, Heidi arrives alone, hoping for calm water and a simple day outside. The road lies nearby, the forest remains silent, and just behind her sits a small cemetery, unaware of what may be waiting ahead.
Alright guys, I decided to move to a different spot. I feel like this water may be a little bit deeper. It's definitely a lot. These minnows are definitely holding up pretty good.
While fishing within the refuge, Heidi is suddenly interrupted when two game wardens arrive and begin inspecting her license.
No, I haven't gotten any bites all day.
Well, I guess if you're the only one out here, that's probably the best sign. I guess it might be a little chilly, and if there will be more than one person out here.
Yeah,
Old people.
I saw quite a few the other day, so I was hoping it would be pretty good, but the weather's just been so weird. I think it might have to be a little cooler out. I don't know.
Well, then when it gets too cold, then it's not. It seems like the spring and fall is when...
Yeah.
Well, do you have your license handy?
I don't have it on me. Can you look it up?
Do you have your ID?
Yes.
Let's be careful getting across the street.
Well, that was interesting. So, I don't know if you guys heard the beginning of that whole situation, but two officers or warden just stopped and came over, and they were asking for my fishing license. Apparently my coastal fishing license does not cover this particular area. It's based on a map, so I was just outside of the jurisdiction of coastal waters, even though this is brackish salt water. Just a few miles that way is the end of the line, which I had no idea. And luckily they were really nice and just gave me a written warning, but my inland license, so I'm covered. So things are pretty slow out here, except for that. I don't understand how I haven't at least caught a bass or anything. Just trying to enjoy my freedom. Thank goodness I didn't get arrested. It's such a pretty day and the weather is not going to be this nice tomorrow, so I'm just soaking up the sun.
The peaceful rhythm of the day shifts as they explain that her coastal permit does not apply to these inland waters, leaving her uncertain whether the trip might end right there. After moving past the setback, she returns to the water, only to face something no angler ever wants to encounter.
I can see somebody else's bobber right there that got snagged. There are a lot of snagged, and this is my only bobber. At this point, I think if I lose my rig, I'm just gonna pack up and go home. All right, I'm gonna keep moving.
As she casts again, her line becomes tangled in thick submerged grass. She pulls gently then with more force until the line suddenly snaps.
Weeds, and I tried to break it free and it just wouldn't happen. So my option right now is to either call it quits or go back to the car and just use a little weight and a hook. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I give up or keep going? My bobber is actually moving. I don't know if you guys can see that over there, but it's moving. I wonder if the minnow might swim over here. How crazy would that be if it swam back over here and I grab it? But look how creepy this is behind me. It's just like all these woods, and I keep hearing things, thinking it's a bear. There's no way I can reach it. Ugh. Oh. Yeah. No. I don't think my line. I give up, guys. I give up. I am pretty positive that my minnow isn't even still attached to the bobber. What a day. What a day of fishing. Rumor has it that bobber is still floating to this day. Pretty good at floating. I'm gonna eventually get a fish for my tank, but today just was not that day, you know? It just wasn't meant to be, so...
Her final bobber drifts slowly away, stuck far beyond reach. With no spare gear remaining, the day finishes not with a catch, but with exhaustion, isolation, and the quiet frustration of having nothing left to try. Viewers weren't unsettled by wildlife, but by human presence, unexpected authority, and how exposed solitude felt in that moment. If nothing truly went wrong, why did so many people remember this day as uneasy, rather than peaceful? On July 29th, 2023, Luke Nichols from the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys travels with his sons to the Aleutian Islands of Alaska. Known for family-centered outdoor adventures, fishing, and survival skills, the channel records real experiences in extreme environments. This journey takes place around Dutch Harbor, where dangerous waters meet abandoned World War II battlefields. It appears to be a family adventure, but the location carries a quiet tension.
Are you having fun?
Where are you, sir?
Got one, Nate. Probably because it's getting beat up. Go, go. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we got a ling
Got
cod.
another ling.
What a beautiful ling cod. Oh, Nathan's got another fish. There's a whale. Look at that right there, see him? Nathan's got a nice cod and there's a whale visiting us right there. Yo, we got a nice cod.
I'm not even halfway there.
Stream, yep. All right, guys, we're switching gears a little bit. We're up here closer to shore near the kelp forest. We're gonna be fishing for black bass.
I already got something.
Oh, look at that. That is a chunky black bass. Hey, Tom, that's kind of a small one. You want to let that one go?
Tell your buddies about this.
Look at that. That is another nice one. Oh, gosh.
That's a halibut.
That's a halibut.
That was like an easy 80-pound fish.
That was a big fish. Yeah, look at this.
That halibut's eating my fish.
Where's the halibut jig?
Hit my rod.
A massive halibut came up and nailed the jig. Oh, did he just popped off. But we could see him under the boat. Yeah, that halibut was attacking Nathan's rockfish. Tommy had a cod on, it was going for that. Halibut was picking a fight with everybody. Yeah, bring it. There you go. Holy mackerel, Nathan.
Get him off of there.
Again, let me know so I can.
In the Bering Sea, Luke and his sons use electric reels to pull fish up from deep freezing water. Then something unexpected occurs. As Nathan reels in a small rockfish, a huge halibut suddenly surges toward the surface, lunging at the fish on the line and nearly ripping the rod from his hands. What makes the moment unsettling isn't panic, but how quickly control could have been lost in one of Alaska's most dangerous waters.
There's a bunch of rusting equipment down there.
Yeah.
Big glob of tools that have all rusted together. Check out the bullet holes right here. Someone was shooting this piece of steel. Because Dutch Harbor is so remote, shipping stuff in and out of here is extremely expensive. So when this military base closed at the end of World War II, they just left everything here. Bit of a crankshaft to an engine. Look at this.
It's a bullet.
See that?
It's a bullet.
Rain jacket made out of guts, pants made out of sea otter. That's a halibut hook. Look at the size of that thing. Look at that little baby rain jacket made out of guts. That's a red king crab. Look at the size of these things. So this is Ballyhoo Mountain right next to the airport, and it's covered in World War II era bunkers and fortresses, and it's actually run by the National Park Service. So we're gonna hike up the mountain and do a little exploring. Oh, look at this. Look at these salmon berries. Look at those bad boys.
They taste so good.
There are just tons of berry bushes all over this mountain. Blueberries, crowberries. Looks like there's some lingonberries. Oh, there's like a little bunker down there.
There's doors and everything. Hey, how deep does this go?
That's cool. Oh, there's parky squirrels inside the building. The sink right there. There's probably like a bathroom or a wash house. So this base was called Fort Swartzka, and it had 1,000 men serving here during World War II. A lot of these buildings were connected with tunnels so that men could go to and from even when the weather was extremely bad. Yeah, don't go in there. There's tons of nails sticking up. You'll get one right through your foot. This mountain is just full of old World War II ruins. There's buildings there, there on the hill where they dug out pillboxes and gun emplacements. And they're all overgrown with vegetation now.
Good.
Keeping your head dry?
Yep.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, it is cold in here. Look how thick that steel door is. Oh, it's so cold in here. Look at the bullet holes in there. It's like an office in here. It's like a command bunker.
It's 3 stories.
Yeah, Tom, don't slip.
Dry.
Look at this. You can see there's another story down there. I don't want to fall down there. I don't think I'd be able to get back up. Wow, look at this. This is awesome. That is a beautiful view.
Afterward, the family enters abandoned World War II bunkers near Dutch Harbor. They move cautiously through dark concrete corridors surrounded by rusted metal and decaying wood. The unease doesn't come from movement, but from the almost untouched silence of structures never meant to be entered again, now hiding quiet hazards in every step.
That's cool. Shall we go check out this part? This big rail here is where they would mount the giant artillery piece. And thanks to observers placed around the different islands, they could even hit ships they couldn't see. I brought a flashlight on this trip just so we could explore this stuff, and I left it back at the hotel. This is like a big circular bunker. There's a lot of water in here. It's like, oh, another gun emplacement. Look at the big ball bearings they had for turning it around. Spot for another artillery piece here.
Yeah, that's that.
Watch out, don't slip down that cliff, Tom.
That's how bad it is. It's not all dead. Like, it's stable. Next to you.
I mean, yeah, my guess.
Yeah, it's not.
On the slopes of Mount Ballyhoo, Luke and his sons walked near steep cliffs overlooking the harbor, where old gun emplacements remain exposed to wind and fog. There are no railings or barriers here, only open ground, and the quiet tension of knowing a single misstep could bring lasting consequences. Many viewers observe that nothing dramatic actually happens, yet the danger feels constant, built into the water terrain and abandoned structures. Was this trip truly safe, or did it only appear that way because nothing went wrong this time? On February 26, 2024, an 18-year-old angler heads offshore alone on a plastic kayak. The footage comes from nomadic kayak fishing, a channel centered on real solo kayak fishing in open water. With no crew and no protection, the environment is simply the sea itself, a wide, quiet, and unforgiving. What begins as a routine attempt to catch kingfish slowly shifts towards something far less predictable.
Something's just picked up the live bait. Oh, baby. The big bait, gotta give him a while to eat. He spat it out. Oh, he's picked it up again. Alright. Oh, smokes. Holy. Holy shit! Holy smoke! Whoa! Big Mako! Big Mako! Holy smoke! Big Mako! Holy smoke! Holy smoke! Holy smokes! Oh! 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 He's going crazy! Oh! Whoa! Oh! 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 Don't come over here, mate! Holy shit!
He is fishing offshore using a large live bait intended to attract bigger fish. Without warning, a massive Mako shark erupts near the kayak, breaching repeatedly within arm's reach. The moment feels unsettling, not because of chaos, but because of proximity. An apex predator moving with explosive power beside a thin plastic hull.
Nah, that was crazy. Oh, he's coming up to the surface again. Oh, he's going deep. Don't go deep, don't go deep. Oh, now he's off to the bottom. He's probably gonna bite through this trace. Oh, he's spinning us around. This is crazy. I have no control over this fish. Oh, he's so heavy. He's just gonna tow us around, isn't he? It'd be so cool if I could land him though. Oh, we've got no power over this fish. All right, let's try and get some line on him. Ah, super heavy. Oh, he's towing me. I can't do anything about him. He does not care that he's hooked. Come on.
Moments later, the shark takes control. The kayak is dragged across open water as the angler is pulled farther from shore, unable to change direction. The disturbing part is the clear imbalance of power. The kayak is not moving forward by choice, but by force steadily pulled into the sea.
Okay, we've touched a trace. That is a caught fish. Oh baby. That is a tank. I don't know if you can see that. Bugger it. I got a hat. I want to get a shot of this guy. No, my camera just went flat. My camera just went flat. No, I want to get a shot of this guy so bad. There he is. There he is, baby. Holy smokes. Right, yes. We've got 1%. We've got 1%. And we're flat again. That is crazy. I can't get the leader. Boop. Alrighty, buddy. Cheers for the tow. Oh, look at this. See you, man. Whoa! Yeah, the fucking boys. That was nuts. I can't believe I landed that shark. No way. I'm shaking. Oh, that was so crazy. Oh, yeah, the boys. I am beyond words right now. That was so crazy. I can't believe I landed it in like 15 minutes too. Oh, I need a minute to gather my thoughts here. I grabbed this fin and everything. Oh, I hope I got some good shots of that. That was absolutely mental. That was mental. Holy smokes. Oh, I caught a smaller one the other day, but that was on another level. Holy smokes. That's the biggest fish I've ever landed off the kayak. Oh, what an experience. I feel so blessed right now. That was crazy.
After a long struggle, he brings the shark close, reaches the leader, and confirms the catch. He leans forward and briefly touches the fin before cutting the line. The tension peaks at this point, inches from danger, where one sudden movement or strike could instantly end the encounter. Many viewers admired the calm control, while experienced anglers pointed out how narrow the margin truly was. Makos are fast, reactive, and unpredictable at close range. The shark swims away, unharmed. But viewers keep wondering how close was this to ending very differently if the shark had turned or leapt 1 second sooner. In September 2025, in the clear yet predator-filled waters of the Bahamas, YouTuber Nick Kratka set out to attempt something most divers would never try. On his YouTube channel, Nick Kratka, known for sustainable spearfishing survival techniques and ocean hunting experiments, Nick was not pursuing views, he was pursuing invisibility. The objective sounded simple, but carried risk test 5 different levels of camouflage while spearfishing in waters shared with sharks, and determine which one actually works. Each stage would grow in creativity, danger, and realism, leading to a final test where failure would mean far more than simply missing a fish.
I figured we'd baseline this test with nothing on. Just kidding, for level 1, I'm actually gonna be spearfishing in this Speedo. After all, this is how our ancestors used to feed their families, so it's time to see if I can do the same.
The first thing I noticed about this camouflage is that it is terrible at protecting my skin. I'm getting stung left and right by just about anything in the water. The good news is that my skin tone is the same color as some of the corals. A cool fact about nurse sharks is as they age, their skin tone is gonna get darker. If you guys are in the area, it's a good sign that the lobsters are nearby too. And after following the nurse shark, it turns out he was 100% right because I did find a lobster of my own. This is what I look like looking at him. After he darted into the back of the cave, that was plenty of confirmation saying that this camouflage was definitely not working.
The experiment began with nothing more than a Speedo recreating how early humans once hunted the sea. The exposure was immediate, jellyfish stings sharp coral, and no meaningful concealment. Marine life noticed him right away. This camouflage offered almost no advantage. Next came a blue ocean suit designed to blend with open water. It provided protection and improved stealth, allowing Nick to successfully catch hogfish and even a rare tiger grouper. But the moment larger fish were taken, reef sharks appeared, attracted by sound and movement.
We have to be an extra effective hunter and be even stealthier than we normally would. Otherwise, we're gonna be the ones that end up as the shark bait. I began my descent, and the thing I like about this suit compared to the other one is that my entire body is covered. So what that means is that I'm gonna be able to glide on the grass a lot easier than I was before. On so many little jellyfish and I'm getting stung every time I touch it, but because I have this blue suit on, it's actually protecting me. After I wound a fish, I'm extremely competitive whether you're human or not, and I eventually wound up tracking this hogfish down and put one right in the same side as I did before. Faster than normal, otherwise you'll get bit. One thing that's for certain is that we can't consider this a good and tested camouflage unless I get a really big fish. Right here I see a groupers in between these rocks. I make sure to take my time approaching him, and if you notice, he has no idea that I'm there. It's kind of making me think that this camouflage is working. This specific species of grouper is incredibly rare and only found in this part of the world. The worst part about catching a big fish is that it always causes a lot of commotion, and that commotion will bring in the apex predators in the area. We took this as our sign to get back onto the boat because we don't want to get bit today.
Not bad for my first grouper. Thank you, Ron.
Level 3 introduced military-style body paint, matching the green tones of the seafloor. While effective from a distance, the paint faded underwater, and exposed skin made close reef hunting painful and restrictive.
Was the fact that the green matched the seafloor perfectly. This would be amazing, except the bottom of the floor is covered in jellyfish larvae, so I'm not really able to just settle into the grass and really get comfortable there. Instead, I have to do this whack little hover, and if I don't wind up hovering, my entire body will get stung. It was finally time to start hunting and put this to the ultimate test. Remember, I'm not just testing this camouflage to see if it catches fish. I'm seeing if I'll survive in shark-infested waters. If this doesn't work, I'm literally gonna get eaten. That's not a joke, guys. Please like and subscribe. After enough swimming, I ran into a mutton snapper, and these are actually one of the smarter fish on the reef, and you could tell he's just slowly staying just out of range. I literally can't reach him. What that tells me is that he's able to see me, and this camouflage might not be the best. Just when I was starting to doubt level 3, I came across a pretty good sized hogfish. I'll admit it, hogfish are not the smartest fish in the ocean, okay? Most of the time you could sneak up on them without them really going too crazy. Didn't have a reaction at all. I mean, I put one right into his dome, and that's when he realized that I was there. After I hit him, he was trying to run into the reef, and it was kind of just keeping him on the end of my spear like a dog on a leash.
All right, this isn't the worst camo in the world, I guess. Better than the Speedo.
For level 4, Nick covered himself in a seaweed suit, drifting naturally with the current. Fish approached without hesitation. The downside appeared quickly extreme weight exhaustion and a near drowning incident when the suit caught on coral. Effective, but dangerous.
See when I put on this suit. The first pro is that my body is covered in a thick silicone casting. For this reason, I don't really have to be concerned with any stinging cells in the ocean because none of them can actually touch my skin. One of the cons, on the other hand, is that with all of this seaweed kind of free floating around me, every once in a while it would appear into my vision really sporadically, and this would be kind of disorienting because it would come out of nowhere. And then there was the biggest con of all.
Something I did not account for is that this suit has very negative buoyancy. I'm slowly sinking while I'm in the water.
Right at the bottom of this coral head is a hogfish. I do a really good job line of sighting it. To line of sight something means to sneak up on it at an angle that they're not able to see you. Because this coral head is in between me and the hogfish, he has no idea that I'm here, and I'm able to put my spear right in the top of his head, and luckily it was a great shot. Looking back on this video though, I can't help but notice my demeanor. Usually I'm so stoked after catching a fish. I'm literally just dead as I'm holding that one up.
Let's go, baby. Oh, there's got it done. This suit works. Say what you want. The fish don't see me.
The final level was a custom coral suit, highly realistic and fully protective. Fish no longer fled, instead they drifted closer curious. Even in the presence of large predators, the suit allowed Nick to hunt efficiently with minimal disturbance. To push the test further, a dummy wearing the coral suit was lowered into shark-filled water. Despite the frenzy surrounding it, not a single shark attacked.
Starting with the fact that my entire body is covered, so I'm not getting stung by anything in the water. It also has the advantage of being extremely comfortable and flexible compared to the seaweed suit, which I literally felt like I was drowning in. Another piece of good news is that it looks hyper realistic, so oftentimes if I'm sneaking up on a fish, they're gonna be really curious because they've never really seen a floating patch of coral in the ocean. And usually when a fish is curious, it'll come up and check you out even closer. It's important to remember that no matter how confident in your camouflage that you are though, there are still lots of sharks in the ocean. I was doing my best to blend in with the coral in hopes that this one wouldn't see me, especially because he's a pretty big black tip reef. There are 3 different species of hammerhead sharks, and this one is called a greater hammerhead. Usually when you see these guys in the wild, they're scanning the floor and their hammer is used to dig for little invertebrates or stingrays or anything that they could find in the sand. So this shark swimming in the middle of the water column was very unusual behavior, and I couldn't help but wonder, like, why was this happening? This pretty much means that the shark is fired up, okay? It's in attack mode and it's actively hunting. The good news is that hammerhead sharks usually won't eat large mammals. So as this thing was around me, it's not like I was afraid of being on the immediate menu.
This experiment was not only about camouflage, it demonstrated how movement texture and familiarity may matter more than color alone underwater. Fish reacted less to what visually blended in, and more to what appeared natural within their environment. If predators ignored something that looked real enough to belong, how much of what we consider dangerous in the ocean is actually about standing out, rather than simply being there at all? Would this camouflage protect a human every time? Or was this only one calm moment within a much larger unpredictable system? On February 4th, 2021, Bryce and his friends from the YouTube channel Outdoors Weekly, a channel centered on treasure hunting, magnet fishing, and underwater exploration, were driving across a bridge in Florida when something below caught their attention. Beneath the waterline sat several abandoned boats, partially submerged and seemingly forgotten. What began as a spontaneous stop quickly turned into an unexpected dive, driven by curiosity and the assumption that the vessels had simply been left behind. They started with the first wreck entering the water carefully without full scuba gear.
Look at that, there's life jackets in there. There's a console right there. This one doesn't really look necessarily like a yacht, but more like a speedboat type thing. They would like sleep in that compartment right there. Dang, bro, it's a whole yacht. I really just want to stick my head inside this bit. Let's see. I don't know. I couldn't really see too much.
The boat looked more like a speedboat than a luxury yacht, and inside items such as life jackets and a control console were still visible. Bryce repeatedly warned about the dangers of entering enclosed areas without proper equipment, recognizing the real risk of becoming trapped underwater. Next, they swam toward a second vessel much larger and clearly more expensive.
Look at that thing. Like, look at that. That boat is massive. Massive. This boat is recently sunk. It has not been down there for that long at all. There's not even barnacles on this one. We are on the boat. This is where there's the cabinet. Dude, that's not a cabinet, that's a door. That's a freaking door to the outside. It's a cleaning thing. This is like a scuba diving jungle gym. Dude, there's a couch in here. That looks like the engine room. This was the door that went into the engine room down there. So there's stairs right here that go down there. That's the console right here. We're gonna have to get out of here because I just realized that high tide is coming in. Remember, I was looking in that way. I was able to hold on to the thing. It's not even out of the water anymore. So we're gonna have to be careful we don't get trapped inside this boat. Whoa!
Unlike the first, this yacht appeared recently sunk with no barnacles, and much of the interior still preserved. Inside they saw doors, a couch, and a staircase leading down toward the engine room. As the exploration continued, the situation grew more dangerous. The tide was rising, and sections that had been reachable moments earlier were slowly slipping beneath the surface. Realizing the risk, the group exited quickly to avoid becoming trapped inside the wreck. Their final stop was a third sunken boat positioned near the shoreline.
Bro! Dude, there's a dead manatee! I see a dead manatee! Yeah, it's floating against the boat! Yeah, I think it's dead. It's just floating. I don't even know if I can get close to this boat. Those things are protected in Florida. I don't even know if I can get close to it. Oh my gosh, I think it's huge. Oh man, he's dead. He's tied to the boat. That is messed up. We're definitely gonna have to call for that. I'm not even gonna get close because I know how protected those things are in Florida. It either got tangled up in that line or someone killed it and tied it to the boat.
As they approached, something floating beside the wreck came into view. It was the body of a manatee. The animal had rope tied around its tail and was secured to the boat. Knowing that manatees are a strictly protected species in Florida, the group kept their distance and immediately contacted the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC. Dispatch confirmed the case had not yet been recorded, and the report was logged for investigation. The group also alerted nearby wildlife personnel before leaving the area. The video shifts from exploration to responsibility, revealing how abandoned environments can sometimes expose serious wildlife and environmental issues, not only hidden objects or wreckage. Was the manatee's death the result of deliberate harm or something else entirely? And how many abandoned locations hide stories that still remain undiscovered? March 17, 2024. Along the Queensland coast of Australia, Brody, the creator behind the YouTube channel YBS, Youngbloods, a channel focused on ocean living fishing and self-sufficient adventure, launches his jet ski into water so clear it almost seems unreal. He's out here to camp, explore, and survive off the ocean for several days. The objective is simple but challenging: catch a large Spanish mackerel to bring food back home. The sea feels calm, almost unnaturally calm. Beneath the glass-like surface, giant rays glide silently below, a reminder that this place is alive and unpredictable.
Look at that! Big Bommy. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my god, we are on. It's so nice. Whoa, big ray. Oh, another one. Look at that down there. Oh, they are huge. Another one. Hello, fellas. Oh, oh, yes. Oh, is that? I think it's a little Spanish. Oh, look at all the bait. It is. It's a little Spanish mackerel. No way. That means there's going to be some big dogs around. Oh my God. This guy right here is a juvenile Spanish mackerel. Too small to keep. Don't know what happened. Oh, my gut just went into knots before and started feeling sick, so I'm just gonna pull up here and go for like a little free swim to back to the ski. Nice and clear. I have no idea why I'm so sick, but I've been spewing all afternoon. I just checked the weather and they're forecasting a cyclone to form over the next couple of days, which is going to bring insanely good weather before, but during, I have no idea. So fingers crossed it doesn't come past, but do not click off this video because I feel like this is just about to get insane. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Brody's first catch is small, a juvenile Spanish mackerel released immediately for being undersized. It's a sign that larger fish could be nearby, but something feels wrong. He suddenly becomes nauseous and drained, forcing him to pause and rest. Soon afterward, weather reports confirm a cyclone is forming offshore.
The drift goes for probably half a kilometer, from 20 all the way down to, I was in 50 then. Big drop off.
Oh my God. Stay away. That's crazy. What the hell? That's a big fish, man. That's not ready for that. This is gonna be the first fish on this setup. Please can't, please. Oh, come on. I see colour. What do we have? Oh, yes! Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, just deal with this guy quickly and humanely and give you guys a look. There you have it. A beautiful big Sunken cod. Absolutely delicious.
As the pressure drops, the ocean begins to shift. Sharks start appearing in numbers, making solo diving dangerous. Still, Brody pushes forward, landing a solid Sunken cod for food proof the sea is feeding heavily ahead of the storm. Then, it happens.
Like a speed run challenge against the cyclone to catch big mackie. I'm in 20 meters of water right now, heaps of bait in this area. The thing is, cyclones coming down the coast like this, fish are normally really hungry. They know it. They feed just before the rain shuts them down, the wind and all that, and they go hide just like us humans. So there's a high chance that I'll come across a big school of hungry mackies. Oh, I just seen it. This is the giant mackie I've been after. Look at the size of this thing. No! Oh.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yes! Spanish mackerel! I've done it it's starting to rain again. This is the fish I wanted to take home. It's not as big as that 30-kilo one before. It ain't no giant, but that is exactly what I need for meat before this cyclone, but it's only just in. Yes! Yes! Oh, that worked out so good. Oh, look at that. A Spanish mackerel, perfect eating size. This one's about 10 to 12 kilos, just as the cyclone's coming in. After the cyclone, the search for one double that size, no, 3 times as big, is back on. What is these conditions, man? This is literally what they call the calm before the storm. You would not know that a couple of 100 k's off the coast right now, there is literally a cyclone brewing. I swear on my life that this is happening right now. Anyway, I've got my fish right here. Perfect sized mackie. Look at that. That is literally as fresh as it gets. It's gonna go up to my car there. I've got a fish bag in my car, pack him on ice, and we're gonna get home, pack the house up, and night on is gonna be wild. This is literally where I launched the jet ski yesterday and come in when it was glassy. Look at it now. And it's honestly only gonna get worse. I'm gonna start heading home and prepare for red alert.
A massive Spanish mackerel, well over 30 kilograms, strikes his line. For a brief heart-stopping moment, he has it. Then just meters from landing, it shakes free and disappears. With the cyclone moving closer, there's no time to chase regret. Under rain and strengthening wind, Brody finally lands a Spanish mackerel around 10 to 12 kilograms. Not the giant he hoped for, but enough to secure food before a red alert is issued. He heads toward shore as conditions rapidly worsen. After the storm passes, Brody opens up. He reveals he stepped away from YouTube for 4 months because of mental exhaustion, the pressure to constantly succeed slowly draining the joy from something he once loved. This moment reframes the entire journey. The video isn't only about fishing, it's about pressure persistence and recognizing when to step back. The cyclone mirrors the mental strain he describes powerful, unavoidable, and capable of forcing change. After the storm, Brody returns to the water focused and determined. This time he hooks a true monster. The fight is brutal. The fish is too large for storage, forcing him to grab its tail by hand and haul it onto the jet ski. He succeeds not through luck, but patience and determination. So here's the question. Was the real victory landing the fish, or simply getting back out there and feeling like himself again? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.